So we all have been hearing AI has been transformational, AI is reshaping the health systems. And then especially with the AI in healthcare, so what is being done? So the areas that we as a drug regulator, so I represent the CDSCO, the National Regulatory Authority of India. So we deal with diagnosis, we deal with pharmacovigilance, we deal with clinical trials.
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Yeah.
I would welcome Dr. Isha ma'am onto the dais to chair the session. Thank you, sir.
Ultimately, so it's the public health that is being affected. But how do we regulate intelligence? So because the evolution has been so breakneck speed, so the regulators, are they in a position to catch up with the evolution? So that is the question that we need to answer. But what is that we should do, the government should do, the regulators should do? We should have a national AI strategy, how to deal with AI in healthcare, AI in say how we treat patients, AI in diagnosis, AI in mitigation of diseases. So, and whether we have a legal and ethical frameworks, these are very important. Otherwise, unbridled power will be with the AI. Issues with data governance, whether data sovereignty is being followed or not. Are the stakeholders engaged? Whether the workforce, are they prepared? If we see how the world is going forward, so EU, few months back, it has adopted the first comprehensive AI law in healthcare. So, but what about India? Are we ready? So, if we see that Europe, 85% of the member states have implemented a cross-sectoral AI strategy. But when we see in India, so maybe at the manufacturing level, development level, so a lot is being done, but that is not come to that level where the government has adopted. As far as India is concerned, last month, few months back, sorry, the health minister has launched the strategy for AI in healthcare for India, the SAHI, and benchmarking open data platform. I think this will give some sort of national AI strategy, what I have mentioned in the earlier slide. So this is the document. You can find it on the health ministry's website, strategy for AI in healthcare for India. So what does SAHI says? SAHI has these 5 pillars: governance, regulation, and trust. So this is very much important for adoption of AI and scale it across the system. Health data and digital infrastructure. So I'll come in the coming slides what is the public digital infrastructure that India is having. Workforce, change management, institutional capacities. So research, innovation, evidence generation, and then the ecosystem enablement and global leadership. These are the 5 pillars that are envisaged under the SAHI. Coming to the digital infra in public sector, so this is the one basic thing based on which the entire AI in healthcare would be built on in the coming years and all. So if you see, for example, we have something called online pharmacies. Everyone has been using. As far as online pharmacies are concerned, so we don't have a specific law regulating these online pharmacies. So whichever law that is being used to regulate the brick and mortar pharmacies is also applied to that one. But in case we also have, for your information, so we also have issued a draft notification in 2018 itself to regulate these online pharmacies. But there have been a lot of objections on the on creating a legal mandate for AI pharmacies from the various stakeholders. That's why that was kept on hold. And recently we have revised. We tried to revise, taking into consideration the objections. So what we have done is that, so we first want to create a system of e-prescriptions. So today what is happening, the prescription is scanned and then sent to the e-pharmacy or online pharmacy, but that prescription can be used multiple times where there is no check and balances are there. But under Ayushman Bharat Health Digital Mission, so we create first is a ABA ID, Ayushman Bharat Health Account ID to every citizen in India. So based on that ID, the patient goes to a doctor. The doctor has a health professional registry ID. The HPR is there for the doctor, for a pharmacist, for a nurse, for all health professionals. So when he goes to a doctor with HPR ID, with his ID, he will generate a e-prescription. So e-prescription will be, we are building all these things. Some of them are already there as you see on the screen, but e-prescription is being built right now. The e-prescription generated by a health professional will go to the e-pharmacy as desired by the patient, and when all the records along with that EMRs will be generated, and those will be linked with the ABA ID, and you have so many other initiatives under ABDM, Health Information Exchange, and Unified Health Interfaces to access these EMRs, and so there are National Health Claims Exchange and Digital Health Incentive Schemes to create ABA ID. So there's a scheme. So these are by way of this. So what we are trying to build, we are trying to make e-pharmacy or online pharmacies foolproof, so that there will be one single prescription. That prescription is linked to a patient and also a doctor who has prescribed that, and that prescription cannot be used multiple number of times, and there will be a history generated, and it will become a part of the EMR. So this is what we are trying to do, and maybe in coming months that will be, we will realize this. And if you see under the SAHI, what are the governance guidelines? So these are the 7 guiding principles that, so trust is very much is important, to trust both ways, as all of them have been telling the people first, people in sense the patient first. Fairness and equity. So everyone should, inclusivity, fairness, equity. So these are general principles of ethics. So accountability and safety, resilience and sustainability. So these are some of the guidelines. So coming to the drug regulation, so where we are trying to use AI. So in all these areas which are mentioned on the screen, the PV, supply chain integrity, the speakers have been talking about that, the risk-based inspections, the clinical trial analytics, the e-pharmacy I have spoken, and so these are the areas that we are currently trying to build upon the AI tools in the drug regulation. So what we have done is that, so we have announced a CDSO India AI Hackathon. So wherein, so to give the background context that we have a e-governance program at the CDSCO that was launched in 2014. So from 2014 onwards, we have launched 4 different portals, one for drugs and clinical trials, ethics committees, and various other services by CDSO. Other one is for medical devices. The third one is for the state. The fourth one is the laboratory information management system for our laboratories. So these 4 are in silos. So we are trying to process this data. So what we want to deploy some AI solutions. So because in the clinical trials, so we get lot of patient data, but whether the patient data is anonymized, is there data privacy is being followed. So to process that data and use it effectively to ensure safety and quality of the drugs as well as the efficacy of the drugs, we need to process that data, and for that reason, if we want to deploy any AI tool currently being operational, then because of the issues regarding data privacy, so we need to anonymize them, and that is why so we have announced this hackathon, so which currently being awarded. And we conduct so many meetings, and we have each application have thousands of pages of data or maybe the narration. So we would like to summarize them and then see because of there is always resource constraint with any government organization. The number of persons is limited, and industry is growing about 10-15% every year. to catch up with them. So we need to adopt these tools, and we need to summarize them so that we can quickly process them, and also automate validation and then classification of various use cases. So these are the first initiatives that we have taken recently. And as I said earlier, we have 4 portals which are in silos. We want to integrate all of them and create one digital drug regulatory system which also incorporates all the AI tools, which has data digitization, migration of the existing, compliance with the DPDP Act, because so earlier DPDP Act was made, but the rules were not made. The rules were made so recently. So whatever data that is being generated by various health facilities, so that data now can be effectively used to make AI, SAMDs, software as a medical device, which was not earlier. There was no legal provision, and also digital transformation of all the licensing systems. So with this, our intention is to have a single solution to address all the needs of the regulator, and also make it state of art. So I think some slides are missing, so I will just speak to you. The one area is AI in PV. So if you see, these are the list of ADRs that are which have given some signals. If you see the names, there doxycycline, carbimazole, losartan, itraconazole, paracetamol. That doxycycline was innovated in 1967. So we are in almost 60 years since it is launched. But so because India gathers lot of ADRs with the ADRs that we have captured, so we have detected restlessness, anxiety, irritability, nervousness, and these are the signals that it has given after 60 years that it was launched, and it is being used even today. So the point here is that even though so much data has been there earlier, why we are not able to identify these signals? Because not many reports were there, or even the reports were there, it was so confounding that causality could not be established. So these are the questions that we need to answer, that maybe led to the delay. So if you see the paracetamol, 6. So everyone used paracetamol, but this particular fixed drug eruption is a signal that it has given, and our expert team has finalized in February 2023. So maybe that is also more than 60-70 years old. But what we expect from the AI is that to fast track that. It might have taken 60 years for these ADRs to causally establish with these drugs, but it may happen in few years with the AI that is being developed and is emerging, and with the computation power it has. So this is the pathway on the left side. So is a conventional pathway. So where I will not go into details because of time. If you see the right side, the data mining algorithms. So these are the important areas that we can use so that we can detect the ADRs at a very early age, and the triage of outputs, and based on that, so ultimately, so it is the patient who will be benefited. So with all this. So this is the, I just want to give a snapshot of the comparison of the guiding principles for AI in pharmacovigilance. So if you see the chart, all these countries are either American or European, and what are the other principles that are mentioned under the left side, the first column, that are common with our principles also. But if you see, few of them are societal well-being and environmental well-being. So these are something which these guiding principles are not there with us, or some countries are using them, some countries are not using them. But issue will be whether are they needed, whether environmental well-being is a guiding principle for adopting AI, whether societal well-being is a guidance principle. So this is a matter that we need to delve deep into. The key message is that so proliferation, deployment of AI has caused a paradigm shift in the PV, especially PV. So future challenges and oversight of autonomous systems, impact on data privacy and ethical frameworks. These are the challenges. Guiding principles and framework grid will need to be adopted. So, and to make it responsible and while protecting safety, patient safety. So, as far as the PV is concerned. So, if you see how other agencies are reacting to FDA, so this was one snapshot of the inspection of US FDA inspection that was carried out at a manufacturing facility. So when the inspector went, so he found that AI was used to generate product specifications, the SOPs, the master batch records, and the process validation. So all these things it is done by AI. So the inspector and the FDA has decided that there should be a human oversight for all the functions that AI AI gives its output, because these are non-negotiable as per the AI governance rules. Medical device is also one area that we regulate. So we have approved so about 130 software as medical devices. Out of that, 40 were developed in India and 90 were abroad. So because of time, I will just skip these slides. So one slide is the classification matrix. So as far as SAMD is concerned, we categorize as non-serious, serious, and critical. And based on that, this classification, risk-based classification is there. Classification based on ABCD. So A is the lowest and D is the highest risk category devices. So we are harmonized ourselves as far as SAMD is concerned with the global standards. You can see the IEC standards, the ISO standards that we are following. So these are some of the IVD softwares as SAMD that we have approved, and their risk classification that you can see, and some of the AI-based medical devices that we have approved. So ultimately, I will just this is my concluding last slide. So way forward is innovation with ensuring safety and with trust, equity. So that will sustain AI in healthcare. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any
questions
questions
to sir can be taken up in the break. Thank you so much, sir.
Right. Thank you.